What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 5th day of December. Here we are sitting at $90,300 with about 9 hours and 21 minutes left in this day. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get into it, okay? Bitcoin's doing more or less exactly what we forecasted. We did expect this little pullback here, probably down. I think the call was just below 90K to something around 86K. I can't remember. Let's see. From a low point here to a high point here, 90.7K, 88.7K, somewhere in there. 85.5 to 84.5K at the lowest, okay? But probably somewhere between where we are now and 88.7K. I would guess at the moment, just looking at this fib, this relative fib here, that we do continue to drop down to about 88.7K, maybe even just below there. I wouldn't think that we go below 88K, but if we do, 85.5 to 84.5 awaits. So looking at this chart here with 90,300 being the price, I wouldn't be surprised if we looked at the shorter term time frames and saw that we do want to continue going lower. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and we'll start there, okay? 1 hour time frame, you have broken back down. A lot of people are saying, can we BART down, up, and then down again? We absolutely can. We can BART all the way to Sunday, man. It can happen. But I doubt that we come all the way back down here, personally. I don't really expect that myself. I'm wondering if this fib will throw things off a little bit. Let's just see. Because yes, here, this fib would suggest that you find support just below $90,000. At least right there. And there's a solid chance for respecting this fib, which it seems like we are to some degree, but I would think that this fib overall from this low would be more significant, right? On a 1 hour time frame, this seems more appropriate, but on a 4 hour and a daily time frame, this actually seems the most appropriate, which would then imply lower targets. I don't know, interesting thought there. Might come down and scrape the top ends of this consolidation phase down here, or we'll find support shortly. If we don't find support just below 90K right here at 89.9K, we likely do go down to that 88K level. Okay. It's like 88.7, wasn't it? 88, what was it? Let me see, hold on. Yeah, 88.7K. Looking at the indicators, the 1 hour RSI is terrible, looks sad. This is exactly what you want to see if you're bearish, right? Lower lows, lower highs, but it's the 1 hour time frame. You know, while this is sad and we probably do have lower to go in price, that doesn't mean that we're going to be going to zero forever, right? It's not this terrible thing that's going to keep lasting. In fact, we're likely near the low with this, right? The RSI typically in these downward sloping trends ends in the oversold zone with some bullish divergence. That's what we look for. We don't always get the bullish divergence, but if we do, that's nice. It helps us out. I would expect that we probably come up, find resistance, and then come back down. Maybe we get a lower low, and then we try that bullish divergence at a later date. Or this next attempt after finding resistance could be where we get a higher low and then we get that bullish divergence there. We'll see. Time will tell, but soon enough, like today or tomorrow, we should have our low. We should be moving back up. And it's very normal for Saturdays. Today is Friday. It's very normal for Saturday to be a kind of neutral nothing day. So maybe we find our low today and we just kind of chill for one day, and then Sunday we get that Sunday pump like we normally do. Looking at this without the RSI, looking at the stochastics are bearish at the moment, and the MACD is also bearish. So all bearish things. But you got to admit, for all this bearishness on the MACD, all that red, you really haven't gotten that much to the downside. So the bears are really trying here and not getting much. Whenever the bulls take over, they don't need much time. They don't take much effort to get these strong readings that push us higher. I do believe that whatever comes our way to the downside will likely be a higher low that takes us to higher highs as well. Again, from here though, at $90,200, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time a lot of you are watching this video, if we were pushing higher a little bit, right? If we were pushing up, I assume we go lower. You know, maybe as low as, maybe we're just below 90K right here. We're just below it there, maybe. Perhaps we're all the way down at 88.7K, or even all the way down to prices that are at like 85K, 86K, very possible as well. But before we do that, we probably come up a little bit and then we go down. So if you see us up at 91,000, even if you see us up at 92,000, don't get too excited. We likely do come back down, right? This likely, whatever it is, will likely be a lower high. That sends us lower than where we are now. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, the RSI, it's just so sad. You had such ample opportunity to do good things here, and you just didn't do it. So yeah, it's no wonder why we're just making a straight beeline to the oversold zone here. That's probably what we'll do. Yeah, I think we're probably just going lower. I'm not getting too much off the RSI. The stochastic suggests that we're going lower. The MACD is useless. It's totally not helpful right here. So the fact that it's crossed down, cool, whatever. Daily time frame. Stochastics are bearish. At the moment, they are bearish, so it makes sense that we cool off. MACD has a bullish posturing, but overall is bearish, and the RSI is also overall bearish. But we did break out of our downtrend. We broke out of that. We do have higher highs here, and we will form higher lows. So even though we are bearish overall, we have some good things going for us. Okay, we broke out of the downtrend. We're forming an uptrend. We have some good things going for us. Once we see some of these stronger readings, this is whenever Bitcoin should really get moving. So sometime next week, if not even the following week, it might even be the week before Christmas, or Christmas week itself. That should be, so the week before Christmas, if not Christmas week itself, should be the week that we start to see real magic happen if we keep working our way up in this way. Certainly it's coming, as long as we don't reject the 60. As long as we don't reject these areas, we should get to the overbought zone. We get into the overbought zone, we should see some growth. The last time we were in the overbought zone was when Bitcoin was at all-time highs. The time before that, same thing. The time before that, same thing. Every time, those are all marked by exploration of new all-time highs. Stochastics make me a little bit bearish for the short term, though. And when I say short term, I just mean, maybe a day or two, maybe a day or 5. We come down to the 50, and then we come back up, something like that. But you can find support above the 52. Sometimes you linger here. So overall, the fact that you're crossed down makes me a little bit bearish, but I'm not bearish for weeks. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're probably going to stay up here. So, something like this maybe. And in that same time frame, I mean, you were moving up that whole time, but you did have moments where you were boring, right? Looking at the weekly time frame, weekly bearish momentum is decaying on the MACD, which is nice to see. After having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row of it building, it's nice to finally see it decaying. The oscillators are right at the 0. This is a perfect area to bounce. Stochastics look ready to bounce. This is actually wow. If the week can close here, or ideally just a little bit higher, if we can close the week a little bit higher than where we are now, that would actually look really good on the stochastics. If not, next week should provide the stochastics get out of the oversold zone. Anytime that we're oversold and then we come out of the oversold zone, I mean, just look, we go straight to the overbought zone, straight up there, every single time. Right? Sometimes you do stuff like this, but this is more bear market behavior, and this is actually during the bear market, right? We don't typically see that. If we're in a bear market, maybe we will see that, but I don't think that we are in a bear market at all. The RSI is bouncing right off the oversold zone. This is a very powerful signal. The last time that we bounced off the oversold zone was here, and that was technically, actually, that was the very bottom of the bear market right there, where we bounced off the oversold zone. That was very nice positive reaction that we had. So we've got the same readings on the RSI that we had at the very end of our bear market. That doesn't mean this is like end of bear market readings. You can see these readings even in a bull market. We're definitely not at the end of a bear market. If you want to call this a bear market, sure, we're at the end of it here, but that wasn't a bear market. That was just a pullback. But I do believe that we're going to continue higher. It'd be nice if this week could close where it is, if not higher. A little bit higher would get both of these oscillators outside of the oversold zone, and that'd be nice. But even here is fine, because next week we'd likely see both of these pressing out of the oversold zone. And next week is not that far away. 2 days, 10 hours left. So I don't really have anything else to say. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. We're at an area on a weekly time frame to find support on a 1 hour, and we're probably going to be moving up higher because of that. On a 1 hour time frame, we are not at an area to find support. I mean, maybe momentarily. Perhaps we do. Again, maybe by the time you watch this, we're at 91K, 92K, or somewhere in between. We get a lower high, but likely we do push lower, anywhere from just below $90,000 to likely something that is closer to 88.7K or below. I doubt that we go below 85K if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 84.5K. What is it? Let's see. I would doubt that we go below 84.5K. Yeah, personally. That's all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.